Now it's time for our most important part of the evening, of course, the 2014 Imagine Awards. Really do appreciate all of the people that have been participating for many years and our new participants as well. Want to introduce to you Brian Fields, and want to keep you to keep in mind the Imagine Awards, of course, recognize individuals, community leaders, and organizations who are committed to making a better world, a better community right here in Southern Indiana for people with disabilities, and a community where everyone belongs. So if Brian would come with Sandtech, and he is also a member of the Rauch Incorporated Board of Directors, and of course Betty Dunham, who is Rauch's CEO. Mr. Brian.
Betty, I'm going to ask that we get some brighter lights next year, please. Before I present, I had someone ask me earlier if I was nervous about presenting, and I think I'm more nervous about not doing this recipient the justice that they deserve, considering all of their accomplishments and then what they've given back to the community. It's important that we recognize these individuals and that they really understand how much we do appreciate what they do for our community and for everyone around them. So without further ado, our first award tonight is presented to an individual with a disability. This individual was born deaf to a hearing family, struggled at an early age in the hearing world around her, but decided to overcome that by learning to read lips and by using her voice. Inspired to help other deaf children, she attended Ball State University, where she achieved a degree in deaf education. She then went on to Indiana University Southeast and achieved a master's degree. Currently, as a teacher of the deaf at Mount Tabor Elementary School, she draws on her experiences as a child to help the children that she teaches today cope with the hearing world around them. With her experiences as a child, she inspires them, she supports them, she mentors them, and most importantly, she sets the framework for them to understand that they also can achieve great things. A few things that you need to know about our candidate is, I think it's important to learn a little bit about them on a personal level, is she's a diehard Indiana University basketball fan. Not sure if we have any fans out there or not. She's an avid exerciser, has run 6 marathons and several mini marathons. For someone like me, that's like climbing Mount Everest. So she also has an even greater passion, which is spending time with her family, her husband Josh, and our new daughter Kyla. So before we bring up Tracy Reister Hardy, who's our recipient this year, I want to make sure we use this opportunity as a way to educate the audience about the proper way to give a round of applause to someone who is without hearing, and that is to do this. So when we bring Tracy up, let's give her the proper round of applause. Tracy, please come receive your award.
Thank you, Brian. I have to tell you, I'm glad that you're a Hoosier and Cardinal fan. Have to have this in front of me because I can't remember much now, having a little baby. Okay, I'd like to thank Rauch, first of all, for this beautiful banquet and for allowing me to be here this evening. My mom was telling me tonight that they came to my house when I was real little. Of course, I don't remember, but I want to thank them for that, too. I also want to thank Dan Souter for the nomination. It's such an honor to be recognized for the Individual Imagine Award. I'll admit that when I heard about that I won the award, I was surprised. I simply never let my deafness stop me from achieving what I wanted to accomplish. and I love doing what I do. However, from my 2 years of teaching deaf children, I realized that many deaf children, they do need good role model and support. I was very proud when one of my former students, she received her own award at her high school graduation, and that just validated for me that I had chosen the right career. And it also shows how important it is for all of us to serve as a good role model for children and give them a lot of support. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher or a mom or a sister. I'd like to thank the many teachers that I had during my education, and also my colleagues in Mount Tabor and for New Albany Flint County School. There's a few of them here today. And I've worked with several interpreters, and they are indispensable to us, including Catherine and Dave. But I did not get where I am today without the love and support of my family, including those who are no longer with us, including my family at Table 15. Thank you for your support. And I want to thank, my husband Josh, and I want to thank my husband Josh and my mom, Darlene. She sacrificed so much for me, and she shaped me into the person I am today. I wouldn't be where I am without all of you. Thank you again.
Well, that's a good way to get this started, don't you think? All right. Our next award will be presented by Rauch Incorporated Board Secretary, Treasurer, and Foundation Board Member Amber Bannett with Brown Foreman.
This award is presented to a community leader, citizen, or volunteer who has advanced the cause of people with disabilities. This year's award recipient spent most of her career providing treatment to people with some of the most debilitating mental illnesses in our community. As the Senior Vice President of Clinical Services at LifeSpring Health Systems, Jana Kixmiller-Rankin worked to ensure smooth and speedy treatment in those in need. She also helped develop excellence in others, providing training and public education in trauma, mental illness, substance abuse, and other issues. Jana was quick to address local and national tragedies, providing community education resources to minimize trauma and ensure appropriate response. She led a team of clinical staff to provide psychological first aid to those impacted by the March 2nd, 2012 tornadoes in Henryville, Indiana. In addition to her many contributions at her workplace, Ms. Kixmiller-Rankin was involved in a variety of community initiatives and activities. To Jana, supporting and treating individuals with disabilities wasn't just a job, it was her life's work. She was a leader and a champion at the state and local level, and LifeSpring clients in our community are better thanks to her efforts. Jana Kixmiller-Rankin lost her 3-year battle with cancer on January 25th. She was excited that she had been chosen to receive a 2014 Imagine Award, and the judges who selected her did so without knowledge of her brave battle. Jana will be greatly missed by so many in our community, and we are honored to be able to celebrate her contributions tonight. Her husband, Greg, will be accepting her award this evening. Greg, would you like to join us on stage, please?
Thank you. Some pretty faces out here. On behalf of Jana, I greatly accept this award. Thank you to Rauch. Thank you to LifeSpring Health Services. Could you imagine as a husband, this is not easy for me. Jana's very passionate about what she did, very dedicated, committed, relentless, and pretty much it was her life to help other people with the mental disabilities. So the battle against cancer might be over for her, but the journey and the battle for mental disabilities continues. So please, let's not forget those who need the help. And I know there's a lot of people out here that can help. So do what you have to do to make that happen. It really saddens me to know that she's no longer here, not just for my behalf, but for those that she impacted that really are going to miss her. And I'd like to recognize the fine folks at LifeSpring Health Services. Would you mind to give them a round of applause? Would you mind to stand up, please? And thank you again for the people at Rauch for making this happen. Jana really would have been thrilled to receive this award. And once again, thank you. You guys have a great night.
Please welcome John Kraft with young Lynn Endress and Kraft to the stage. John is Vice President of the Rauch Foundation Board of Directors.
I'm not sure how to follow that. As I was getting ready tonight, I was watching the U of L game, and as many of you may have seen me in the past 10 days, couple weeks, I had a beard. You might now know what happened to U of L this evening. Before I got here, I had to shave, so they did lose. Our final award this evening is for a business or organization which supports or employs people with disabilities. The Rauch Foundation is proud to recognize the fine work of the Council on Developmental Disabilities. With a vision of a society that includes values and empowers children, youth, and adults with developmental disabilities, the Council has advocated for people with developmental as well as intellectual disabilities throughout this region for more than 60 years. The agency was instrumental in starting the first educational employment day and residential programs for this population in the Louisville metro area. They have provided education and training and direct support for professionals serving people with disabilities, outreach and support for individuals, for parents, and families seeking information as well as services. Events at which families can have fun with their family members with disabilities, and an art gallery to celebrate the talents of those individuals with disabilities. Through community relationships as well as collaboration, the Council has worked to build a dynamic, accepting community that values a diverse range of citizens, including people with all types of disabilities. The Council stands for hope, vision, and voice for these people with disabilities. For them, the voice they have is the hope and the vision for a beautiful life that all humanity shares. Representing the Council on Developmental Disabilities, receiving the award this evening is Donovan Fortwald. He is the Council on Development Disabilities Chief Executive Officer. Again, Donovan Fornwalt, please join me on stage to accept the 2014 Imagine Award.
Well, I want to express my gratitude and my respect for the Rauch Foundation and Rauch Incorporated. The council and Rauch really grew up together. We were both founded in the early 1950s, and we've spent the better part of 60 years dedicated to initiating positive change, improving life for people with developmental disabilities. So it's a real honor to be recognized and to accept this award on behalf of the council. Some weeks are better than others, and last week was a tough week. It was a busy week, and it's a blessing to be productive, so I'm not complaining. But every once in a while you get a call or you hear about something that reminds you that we still have a lot of work to do. I got a call from Wave 3, and perhaps some of you had caught the story last week, about a young man who's being abused by his stepfather and his mom. This was a man with autism who's tied to a pole and beaten with a belt. And apparently also both his shoulders were dislocated. Obviously this man is not leading the sort of life of dignity and inclusion that we expect, that the council and Rauch is fully and completely dedicated to making happen. So I find myself, when I'm watching the local news, it's crime, fires, more crime, some weather, and some sports. So I find myself every once in a while, especially when I watch the local news or flip through Facebook, wondering what the heck is happening to our world? What's happening to our world? The disability movement has come so far in 60 years, and yet we have a long way to go to realize the dream of dignity and inclusion and unconditional love, the hope and the vision and the voice for every person, everyone, without exception. And so the answer to my question, I think, that is, what's happened to our world, the answer may be it's always been this way. The good, the bad, the ugly, things fall apart, hearts and spirits are broken, and then we pick up the pieces. Love and hope and hard work, I believe, are about redemption. We are the ones who remake the world. We rebuild from the ashes of desperation. And each of you in this room, you're here to take up the burden, to put the pieces back together, to bring love and hope into our community, faith into action. These are the things that redeem us and make us human. And I'm so very proud to be a part of this evening and to be a partner with the Rauch Foundation and the Rauch Company. Thank you so very much.